honey cake in half an hour. In half an hour, you get a very delicious, well-soaked cake with fruits, honey, but insanely delicious layers and a tasty filling. Let's get started. So, a piece of butter. We add sugar here, and we add honey here. You can use any kind of honey. The taste of the honey will determine the taste of the cake itself. So don't use something like mustard honey. Just use floral honey. A little bit of salt is a must. And let's go to the stove. This should not boil. Wait for the butter to melt together with the sugar. Everything has started to melt. Don't go anywhere. Keep it on medium heat. And by stirring like this, it will all melt in just a couple of minutes. So, when everything is heated, transfer it all to a large container where we will mix the dough now. Add the baking powder here and mix it all well like this. By the way, using a whisk is the most convenient. A reaction is happening. And while the reaction is happening, mix everything well like this. Stir everything and leave it for about 15 minutes to cool down a bit. We will add the eggs here so they don't curdle. Take a regular baking sheet. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees so it heats up well. While the dough is cooling, preheat the oven and place the parchment paper. Now, when everything has cooled down a bit, add the eggs one by one. A total of 4 eggs are used. Mix in one. Now the other. 4 standard ones, right? If you have small ones, you can use 5, but they should be really tiny. Now add the flour. The dough turns out, as I say, like a pouring consistency. Liquid dough works very well. There are many honey cake options on my channel. In general, honey cake is a dessert that everyone loves. Delicious honey layers and a scrumptious cream. For example, with sour cream, right? Or with cheese. With sour cream, it's the tastiest. The tanginess combined with the honey layers is just wonderfully matched. This is a pouring dough. When I found this recipe, I started using it very often. Why? The layers turn out fluffy, airy, so tender and so porous, tall, that you don't need to spend a long time preparing or fermenting the dough or rolling out the layers, you know, like we used to do before. This dough is just magnificent. So everything is mixed. Well, that's all the preparation. Understand? Nothing else is needed. Now take a baking sheet. So pour it like this. That's all the tricks. I do it like this. The dough should spread to approximately the same thickness across the entire baking sheet. Like this. They bake. Such a layer bakes for about 5 to 7 minutes in a well preheated oven. Sometimes I even kept it for 5 minutes. If the oven is well preheated, it's done in no time. It rises very well. Look. And the main thing is not to miss it and not to burn it. Well, that's it. So we wait for the oven to finish preheating. I add 2 heaping tablespoons of powdered sugar to the sour cream. Mix it. Instead of sour cream, you can use any cream cheese. But then you won't have that tanginess, which is so important. So take sour cream or some kind of thick yogurt, like Greek yogurt, that will also work. So we've mixed it. I also really like what I add. I buy these absolutely delicious canned peaches or apricots. A honey cake with these absolutely exquisite canned fruits is indeed simply exquisite. Cut them into small pieces. Look, in terms of quantity, well, let's put it this way. Add as much as you want. If you don't have canned peaches or apricots, you can skip adding them altogether. But I really like it, and sometimes I even decorate with canned ones like this. It turns out exquisite. So I'll probably add this half as well. So mix it together gently with the sour cream. When our honey sponge cake is fully baked, I let it cool down. It shouldn't be hot. Let it sit for half an hour. The sponge cake has cooled down. Here's what I do. I cut a piece with a knife And from this part, I make crumbs, which I will then sprinkle over the entire cake. Now, cut them into strips like this. Look, about 2 centimeters each. Now cut across into squares approximately 2 by 2. You can make them a bit larger, 3 by 3. So now take some of the cream and put it right here. And take the layers, cut into squares, separate them. Here, look how porous and fluffy they turn out. Absolutely exquisite, of course. And they smell of honey, so fragrant, in sense, truly indescribable. Look how fluffy and aromatic they are. They smell very strongly of honey. So now look, well, we've poured in approximately half here. There. And we mix it. If you mix everything together later, make sure not to crush the layers too much, so they don't fall apart. At the bottom of the mold, and I just take a large container, like a bowl, and put some plastic wrap here. So look, we just spread this plastic wrap with sour cream frosting, like this, and then put in the half that we mixed a bit. Now, the rest of the frosting. And here, the layers. Now we just transfer the second portion here. Spread it out to avoid any gaps. Now, take this plastic wrap and very carefully smooth it out with the wrap like this. Move. Like this. Put it in the refrigerator. It's already evening here. I'll leave it until morning so it can soak and set. The next day, I took my cake out of the refrigerator, unwrapped the plastic wrap like this. Look how well it soaked in the refrigerator, like this. Now gently cover it with the plate you'll be serving on, and very carefully flip it over like this. Then lift our mold and gently remove the wrap like this. Look how beautiful it turns out, like broken glass. The leftover cake from yesterday we put in the blender to make crumbs. The crumbs should be honey-like and tasty. We cover it with them. Take the crumbs we made and sprinkle them on top. And I do it like this, see? Just press it down like this. Look, because in the fridge, it will stand without the plastic wrap. And if it's not covered well, the sour cream will dry out. This is how beautiful it turns out. Such a beautiful honey cake mound. And I still have literally a few tablespoons of crumbs left. I will definitely not throw it away. I often make something sweet at home. And even if you're making a cake from wafer layers, sometimes you want to sprinkle something tasty on it. What do? I take this leftover, put it in a zip bag and store it in the fridge. Preferably in the compartment where it's 0 degrees, and it will last calmly for about 2 weeks. If anything, I might make another cake this week. We cut the cake. It can be served straight from the fridge. There's no need to wait for it to warm up. Just like that. Look at how delicious it already looks. The layers absorb the sour cream frosting so well. They just melt in your mouth. So look at how well soaked the cake turns out. There was quite a lot of cream here, and it mostly soaked into the layers. There is still cream between all these pieces in layers. But all the pieces turn out so moist. It's just an unbelievably delicious honey cake. This cake even smells like honey. Listen, it's very tasty. The peaches add their own flavor. The cake turns out so soaked and delicious. I don't know why I buy honey from one brand, and I like it so much. The layers are so honey flavored. It's just impossible to stop. The taste of honey. You just keep eating and eating. It's not overly sweet. The tanginess from the cream offsets this sweetness. The fruits add juiciness. That's it. I'm making coffee and enjoying the divine taste. And I recommend it to you. Try it. Subscribe to my channel, share this video, and definitely try it. That's all. Kisses. Love you. Take care. Bye.